We're only a little bit late. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? So glad to see everyone and welcome. We just speak favor over you. Nothing missing, nothing broken be found in your life.
Yeah.
And I always like to add a little caveat, Trina, on that of saying full restoration. We've all been stolen from, and it's nice to know that there is a process, by the way, that you can actually get those things that have been stolen from you back. So,
Mhm.
anyway, thank you everyone in the chat room, all the moderators, you beautiful soul beings. I mean, Trina, this place is here where you already have Aretha Franklin go in the back. And I mean, there is a vibe here that is alive, it's vibrant, it's energetic, it edifies every spirit that comes in, and it's one of the best places to be.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome everyone to Second Look. So Wayne, have you heard? I have not. It's interesting, Gilbert, you mentioned that. I have not heard from Lost in Space, and I mean, we can only hope and stand firm, but maybe he will check in. But we certainly send our love and our feelings of energy of protection for you, my friend, for you and your
Oh,
family.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Hello, Martin and Heidi, Guy and Paul. Uh, these two couples, I tell you what, Lynn and I are going to get with Guy and Paul one day, and we're going to get. We just got this sense of something coming. Trina, it's really dark in the world out there, and um, we were warned about this. We were warned that we were going into a time, and you can actually say it's an epoch, because an epoch can be a shorter period of time, but we were warned last year that we were going into the dark winter.
yes.
And folks, we're flat in it. I mean, it may be summertime up here in the northern hemisphere, but we are in the throes of dark winter. And if there was ever a time, Trina, and I were talking prior to coming on here, if where you really wanted to have friends, powerful friends,
Yeah.
this is the time, because we are in the darkness right now. I mean, everyone knows it. We got to stop playing the emperor's new clothes. We have to realize that it's it's a shitstorm out there, folks.
It really is.
And it really is. There are people who are facing losing their jobs, their livelihoods.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nasty. But the great thing is that you can come over here and hang out with us, because we'll introduce you to our friends,
Yeah.
and they're really groovy, man.
Yeah.
You were telling me a story about one of your clients. I mean, I thought was real interesting. You want to share that?
I can. It was amazing. She was just having some really tough energy and tried to cancel, but I was already en route. And when things are really bad, you just try to stop everything in your life. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Time
one
out,
thing after another. Like it was a bombardment of really intense stuff, and it all came crashing down at one time. And when I pulled up, she literally walked out into the driveway because I'm like, no, I can't cancel. I'm already here, So she walks out and she's just crying.
Mm.
And I was like, holy moly. And I started to feel the energy at the home, and I was like, woo, boy, we got some stuff to clean up today, literally. So I literally did what we've been learning, which I've always intuitively done since I was a child. I've always worked with the angelics. They've always been the only help
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much ever kind of called forth was the angelic realms. I've never gone anywhere else, just because it was how I started. And I
Sure.
think I'm comfortable with it. And I've never
Good
met
neighborhood,
anything.
by the way.
Yeah, and I've never met anything higher, Wayne, So I was
It's
like,
like,
why would I downgrade?
yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, that was kind of always my thing. So I literally was like, guys, I really need you today because this is off the hook. It's crazy. And it took about 3 hours, but after about 3 hours, the shift took place. And I started with music and harp music and stuff like that. I'm like, hope you guys don't mind, but I got to do my thing. And I just cranked up the vibration. I was like, let's start with some sound. Let's start with some sense. And I started clearing and cleaning and clearing the energy. After about 3 hours, it was a miracle. And then even because I was there about 5 hours, and they were like, wow, it smells so good. It feels so good. You could see the whole frequency of the entire home shifting.
Yeah.
And the two major things that had happened before I arrived were resolved and fixed before I left. So it was like everything was just moving in a completely different direction. And she sent me a message this morning. It was so sweet. She's like, you are the true meaning of a godsend. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fabulous. That's, that is a testimony because,
Yeah, and I was like, don't forget to thank our friends.
yeah, I mean, and boy, we're going to be talking about that as well. And it just goes to show you, it's interesting as you were talking, I had in my mind's eye, here is a light that's coming into this darkness, and it's typically a mist. That's how I see it. Typically it's a black mist sometimes. And your energy comes in, and then you have your friends and they start coming in. And as the inertia and momentum builds, it begins to actually consume that darkness.
It really does. It dissolves upon contact. It's the most beautiful thing. And like I was cleaning the home and I was saying, everything I touch is being anointed with the angelics. Everything I touch is feeling the vibration of the angelics and the support and the love. And then her husband walked out and he said to her, she almost fell over backwards. He goes, I'm tired of all this and I want to focus on one thing. I want to focus on love. She
boom, baby,
backwards. Right?
I love it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Hey, man.
This is powerful stuff.
As Robert Palmer said, this stuff is powerful stuff, Yeah, it is fantastic. I love that.
Those words. He was like, I haven't heard that before. Ever.
I love this. I mean,
I want to focus on love. I was like, what a brilliant plan. Wow.
What better thing to focus in on? I mean, and there's just an abundance of fear. That is beautiful, Trina. I love that. Want to share everyone, if you buy gear from anyone here, whether it's Nina's, what?
Can I tell you another part of the story?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So she accidentally got stuck by a barrel cactus, and for whatever reason she had some kind of massive allergic reaction and her hand swelled up and she couldn't make a fist, and she was drawing it out with I told her to put a penny on it because it'll help draw, but it was already a few hours later, so it was kind of already in the system. And she took some Benadryl because it actually started closing her throat later that night. It went really crazy. She was like, this has never happened before. So when I went to her house and she came out crying, it was so funny. Marsha had just given me one of those Oregon unks. Alan Dave brought it to me, wrapped in copper with the symbology of it, with the all-seeing eye. It had Nefertiti on it, and the ancient Christ eye, which is the first symbol. And it just has all this powerful, and these crystals on it, a black one, a white one, and a pink one. So quartz, rose quartz, and then I think black, whatever the black.
What's that, obsidian?
Yeah, I think so, obsidian. And she put that in her hand, and it healed her hand almost on contact. She could feel
out
pain leaving her hand, and she could feel her hand. She goes, I can make a fist. She goes, there with no pain. She's like, instantly. She was freaking out on the power of Marsha's Unk. I was like, wow.
Well, that just validates that, as Lilith taught us, that spirit energies will, and this one was obviously one that was very negative to her, that the inflammation that is a sign of many times, and our ancestors knew this as well, that not only do you have the inflammation from the reason, but there's a reason for her to be experiencing the adverse effect.
Yes.
I love this.
And it was instantly shifted with energy. I was so instant, on contact. It was happening bam, bam, bam. She was like, whoa, my hand's better. Whoa, my frequency in my house is better. Whoa, my husband wants to work on love. Whoa, whoa. She was, freaking out.
Don't mess around with Jim. That's all I got to say. So if you buy gear from anyone here, and if you are part of this group and it's growing, and we welcome all of you beautiful people. Teresa's in the house, Knowledge Seeker, Jules is in there. We love you, dear. Isby, Ginger. I mean, I saw David Barry, Big Al. This is, we know that you can actually, believe it or not, actually charge, because many times this gear comes with very powerful sigils, symbols, and they can actually be charged. And we may get into that tomorrow. I'll go through a charging ceremony, how you can actually do it. It's very easy. And it's kind of cool, Trina, because you can walk around, like, having the big S on your chest,
Really can. It's so crazy. I'm watching crystals change in my hands when I rub them, and I'm watching colors like start to emanate out of them. And Dave, Perry, and Al, they were watching. I did it with them. It was really amazing, guys. I think we're starting to do some different stuff that wasn't happening.
I think we're going to get a lot more powerful.
Amanda told me, she's like, I'm seeing my crystals grow, and I was doing so because she told me she was doing it. So I was like, well, I'll try it too. And I put it in the dirt, and then I charged it in the moon, and I did some other stuff, and I hit it with some light and did some different stuff. And I think it's growing too. I think there's something to this. And now I'm seeing stuff where things are changing within the crystals. If you hold them with like force, like piezoelectric, like I was holding them, but squeezing them kind of and rubbing them with my thumb with friction. And I was watching them do things. It was powerful. So play with this, guys. You might see some.
I think so.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I think it was a message to all of us the other day when I told you, stop listening, stop just not doing anything, start exercising, put into action what you're hearing here. Take the small steps if you have to. You'll be rewarded for it. Speaking of rewards, our friend Nathan, by the way, lives in Poland. So, and Trina, when I got this package yesterday, the package with the gold coins in it, it was like Fort Knox getting into this thing. But I wanted to show some more, and I've left his link down there. I know already several people have bought the coins, the coin set, but this is, as you can see, the Sumerian calendar, first calendar of man. On that, he does beautiful work. But what I really wanted to show people, Trina, I didn't know this. So yesterday, this came with it, and it took me a while to get into it. So when I opened it up, this is canvas, by the way. What I'm about to show you is exquisite work. He even sent it, and it's, as you can see, there is a seal on here.
A wax seal.
A wax seal, yes.
Wow.
I haven't broke the seal because the seal, this is going to be hung in a very special place in our house. This is canvas. And wait till you see.
Oh, wow. The Wheel of the Angels. Oh, wow.
All 72 names.
Yep.
And there it is, folks. I mean, it's got the, you can still smell the paint on it. This is incredible. And there is energy attached to this thing.
Oh, heck yes, there is.
I mean, Lynn came in and she says, "What'd you get?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I can feel it in this house." She said, "You got something today." And I said, "Yeah." And of course, I just want to thank Nathan again.
Wow. Amazing.
Isn't this just beautiful?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is the kind of magic we're talking about, Trina. And this is what I so love what we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, again, if you want some of his work, just look over there. I left the link, and you will appreciate it, like the other stuff that other merchandise. So, and these gold coins, I started working with them, and wow, it's amazing. You see the accumulation of knowledge that, and I'll speak of this channel here because it's the only one I know of. It seems like it was a circuitous route that got us here, but yet as I look back, very deliberate steps have been taken.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I have totally noticed that too.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah.
Folks, this is going to be amazing. So I had a dream last night because I'm calling out to the angels. I am. I know many of their names, but I also know this, Trina. They respond if you just think and say thank you. Just as one explained to me last night, they took me on a journey of my life, and I was flabbergasted to see how many times they intervened in my life with not even asking.
Yes. Yes.
I'm almost in tears right now because I want to share something with everyone that's listening. They love you.
Oh my gosh.
They loved you from them before you were even conceived into the womb. They made a pact amongst themselves that there are those that they will cherish. And unfortunately, so many humans reject them that as you go along the path of life, your rejection becomes a block.
Yes.
They will not approach you. They will not protect you. They will turn their back on you.
Because they have to abide by the law of free will.
Thank you, because that's exactly what you've shown to them.
Yeah, and it is. You're right. The gratitude.
Oh.
I've always said I think that's my instant line to the divine, is gratitude. It is the fastest way for me to get into those frequencies that I need to be in to work with my team. I have to use gratitude, and it's instant connection. Nothing gets me there faster.
It's like that.
Instant connection to the divine. It is the line to the divine, is gratitude.
Yeah. And as I heard years ago, that if you approach life with an attitude of gratitude, miracles will become commonplace in your life.
Yeah.
It's just a simple fact. It really is.
Yeah.
So
I think it's funny because my client, my friend, she had been bringing people to try to clear the energy in the house, and I don't think that she had quite as powerful experience as what she experienced yesterday. And it's like, that's the power of the angelics.
It is that they exist. And I want to say something as well. So many are afraid of demons. Now I want to explain something about demons. Demons is a modern construct. These beings are really what they are. They're a separate race. There are, I call them the divine ones because that is what they are.
Yes.
And listen, you got some badass angels that would be described as evil.
Yes.
People don't realize this. They think that the angelics are all this, I don't know, pure, etc. They've got emotions. They can get mad. Yes. They can hold a grudge.
Yes.
And my point is, if you would approach one of the divine ones with the same simple respect, you might be surprised at how many times they have intervened in your life.
It's unbelievable how many times.
Yeah.
It really is. I've seen when people can reconnect to the angel over them. Some people have more than one, but when they can connect to their angel, the gratitude and the emotion from the angel is so powerful.
Oh. So I found my angel in the deck, and I want to talk about synchronicity. And I started laughing, and Lynn looks over and she says, "All right, what?" I said, "Of all the things." So apparently this is my angel. And I started laughing when I looked at this because I I had the coin in my hand. Trina, I just reached in the bag and pulled the freaking coin out. I mean, it was with a bunch of others, and I started holding it. And so I'm looking in the chart and I'm saying, oh, so my angel is Hekamiah, and it is the angel of loyalty.
Oh, right on, Wayne. What number angel is that?
16.
Oh, that's my birthday number.
See,
Oh,
there it
wow.
is.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
I just, and you're looking at this in this hand, and you're looking at this in this hand, and you're going, okay, so I have 72 coins, of which I pulled this one out randomly. And what did I do? And came up randomly on my card.
Wow. Wow. That's so profound, Wayne. They just told me the reason you got loyalty. That's why you're so powerful in this lifetime. You
Why?
earned it through your loyalty. Your loyalty
Oh,
earned you. Yeah, that's why you're so powerful. They just said that's your gift of your power for being loyal. Your power is the gift of your loyalty, because apparently you have to be tested to gain that power, and you passed it through your loyalty. Wow, that's beautiful.
I took a lot. I lost, I guess, over 2,000 subscribers when I did the Library Lilith series. But
Absolutely.
she had made a request, and I said, sure. I mean, I didn't, yeah. And look where it's led.
That's what I mean. And I will, just to be honest with you, I was scared when you started breaking out Lilith and stuff first. I was like, oh boy, that's the opposite.
That succubus.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy, is he
Oh shit, has he lost his mind?
I was a little nervous. I was like, oh boy, oh boy. But people do need this information. We need to understand that these are very real parts of our reality. We just don't have we don't have a remembering of it. But boy, I can tell you what, when you cross over and go to the other side, I think you're going to know these beings very intimately and remember exactly how connected you actually were to them, because we all come from a very small family.
We
and
do.
We've been fractaled out through millions of expressions. But when you get to the top of the top of the chain, we're kind of a not a very large group. So we all know who we are.
Nina. Nina the Mystic. She's got her hump day show today, by the way. No, yeah, it's tomorrow, excuse me. She says sometimes the trash just takes itself out. And,
yes, it does. I love
it
that's
does.
true. That's
and
true.
I want to say something about the Library Lilith series. It's very interesting. I've had more Muslims who have found those videos and have sent me back. It's quite remarkable. Much gratitude. They seem to be able to grasp, because in Western culture, Lilith was basically blotted out. And, those who study theology, and they'll say, well, Lilith is really just a modern day construct, brought out in about, 3000 BC, something like that. And they'll try to explain to that. But what they miss is that they don't understand the spiritual component. As above, so below as above. And even if the deity did not exist, it becomes real once man puts it to be real.
Wayne, I don't care what anybody says about, oh, it can't be real or this and that. I don't buy it. And I don't think Lilith is only known by Lilith. Lilith is one of
known by many, many names.
I think she's the original mother of nature, of physicality.
She is nature.
That's what I mean. She was cast down and was created out of the yes, she's like,
yeah,
boy, she's the first. Y'all better have a little bit of understanding, compassion, and respect. And I think that she's been through the worst of having to deal with this experiment, because she took on that role to be that part of this experiment. So
we don't understand. We understand rape in the sense of the physical assault and the emotional and the spiritual assault, particularly with the victim. Lilith suffered the first spiritual rape. And that is what people don't understand.
They stole her essence.
Yeah, and it's deep.
Deeper, yeah.
Yeah. A spiritual rape is something that's not taught, and it's extremely. I doubt if most mortals could endure it.
No.
You know, I just have not found that. Ginger said she's gave us truth, honesty, and love. And you know, the only thing I could say is, and my wife will testify to this, the day that she visited, and it was in March, I know the day, and it was interesting. And she kissed me here and she kissed me here. It did drain all of the energy. It drained all the heat out of me. I mean,
Yes.
and I have a high heat factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you got to figure she is the representation of the moon, the negative pole, the drawing,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
magical, drawing. That's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and we don't sleep in that room anymore. It's not
Yeah.
that it's the negative energy, it's just that there's an energy in there.
It's a
And
very unique frequency
it
to
is.
be
It's a
with,
very
and
unique
not
frequency.
many
Yeah.
people can be in around that frequency.
Now, I can sleep in there, but Lynn got it. It was just, you know,
No way.
and yeah,
Right.
dancer can sense it as well, you know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Are we sheeple creating this mess? Be putting the belief. Knowledge seeker, Missy? Yes. The answer is yes. We are small enclaves. There's many enclaves like us here, and we're getting stronger. But you have to understand, there's a complex hierarchy at play here, and these are spiritual forces. These are not physical in their origins. They are
That's
spiritually,
what it says.
yeah,
We battle not against flesh and blood, but
yeah,
powers and
against
darkness.
the temper, yeah, the
Yeah,
deposicisms, and yeah.
principalities. And yeah, that's what we're dealing with. And
Yeah.
that's real. That's exactly what we're dealing with. I keep hearing Wayne over and over again. The angelics are sending you so much gratitude because your voice is so powerful. And you're waking up millions of Christians right now to the power that the Psalms are the angels. They
Mm.
had no idea of this. And it's mind blowing for many that are getting
Isn't
this.
it
I went
for
on
me?
Patriot Nurse,
Oh,
and
did you?
and she was talking about using the Psalms for our defense and prayer and intercession. And I said, oh, excellent. Invoking the angels, all 72, because every
Yeah.
one is a psalm in our Bible. So learn the power of the angelics because we need all the help we can get. Boy, everybody was like, it was like the light bulb went off.
Getting them
Like
on fire.
they connected the angels,
Yes.
the Psalms, and this is our tool. These are our swords, our shields, our helmets. It's working with these things. This is so important. And I keep hearing so much gratitude for this because it's spreading like it's big. It's what they're showing me. It's one of those big, like when you dropped favor back into the word matrix. It's like a big through the web. I see it
And
going.
they're not religious. That they have a system over there. And
Oh
it
yeah.
took a little bit for it to get in here. But here's the deal: those who have an adverse to Judaism, and which I'm right there. I am. I don't like Yahweh, never have. But then again, I'm not in covenant with Yahweh.
Right.
Yahweh is the president and CEO of that kingdom.
Correct.
These are his people. What they do is apart from what that realm is.
Mhm.
They're really kind of they're really, if I was to say anything, I have found them to be more Hellenistic in their attitude. They don't seem to be religious to me. I respect, quote unquote, the Lord. I understand it's a title. And
Uh-huh.
listen, I'm not a fool. There are gods, there are many goddesses,
I
there are
got you.
many civilizations and kingdoms.
Yep.
And I think, Trina, so many people are going to be shocked when they pass over to the other side because their construct of what the other side is, it's a very narrow
It on
perspective.
purpose. That was done on
Yeah,
purpose.
isn't it so? Yeah. Yeah, it keeps you ignorant. You know, you go in, you go, I don't think I'm in Kansas anymore.
Right. And
You know?
yes, and it's a whole different set of rules there. Yeah, it like you said, it's going to be very wise to be prepared for when you do die because you're not going to be dead when you die. So what are you going to do with that?
Oh boy, mark that down. That folks right there. You're not going to be dead when you die. I
Yeah,
love that, Trina. That
yeah,
is
we don't
a
know that. Yeah, because if
Yeah.
you're going to be,
Spot on. I
yeah,
love that,
you're
my
not
dear.
gonna be dead when
Yeah.
you die. You are just going to pop out of your body and be like, whoa, yeah, you need to know this.
Well, they showed me, and it's so powerful, folks. If you get into these sigils, and I draw them now, before I sleep, I'll draw one.
Yeah.
And this Shem talisman,
Mhm.
holy crap. You get into intensity in meditating on that symbol, woof, it sinks down deep inside. And what they're telling me is that they're here. This is what they do.
Yes.
It's amazing. And the
Remember, Wayne, when I told you when you were asking me, would you think angels are human? And I was like, no, I think they're consciousness, their
Mhm.
personalities, and like they can shoot their personality with all their wisdom at you, kind of like God can inspire through thought. It's the same thing I see. It's that's why they're angles of light. Angels are angles of light. They capture one of those angles in that wheel, and they're one of those angles or one of those rays, and they're divine. Their personalities are unique, they all have their own special powers. And that's what I mean. When you're open to the full will of potential of whoever can help me, whoever's best at this, please
Yeah.
show up. They will. That's the really wildest amazing thing. Is like, so you need to understand what they can do, because they do everything.
And they're very kind. I've gotten to know Pael, Pael,
I don't know. I
Pael, Pael.
You did
Um,
Lale L, and I've been having Lale L's in my head. It's the joy love angel, and I'm like, oh, I just love you. And I've been singing Lolly Lolly.
and that's what I do. I sing their names now, and they love it. I mean, they love it. It's like, wow, it's like you suddenly get, a gold star in the class, So, hey,
Yes,
folks, not
I
only do I
know,
got the
right?
72 angels protecting my
Right.
beautiful spirit being, but
Wayne, it's crazy because like each one of those 72 angels has the authority of a legion beneath them.
oh, many legions,
Yes, so
many
everyone
legions.
has a legion.
Yeah.
So that wheel, it goes out to the 12th
It's
power exponentially. The 12 times 12 is what I see from each angelic ray. Then it expounds 12 to the 12th power throughout each ray. That's what I've always seen.
and if you, and it's like the Shem talisman, when I see the 72, and it's the 72 names of God, in which each angel has the name of God in them. That's why they are the archangels.
Yeah.
And you're right, they have just, some have hundreds of legions, some have 10 legions, but
Yeah, it depends on what they need, what for.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, they get
yeah,
it according to need of purpose. It
yeah.
totally makes sense.
They told me, and it was weird because they do, I'm very used to that dream state. I'm very familiar with that, but they do come in your dreams, and it's quite interesting because I was in my that lucid dream state. I was in this room, and it was weird because I looked around, and all I could see were the vague images, except for there were two in front of me, and one was white, one was black.
Yes.
And they embraced each other, and they looked at me, and they simply said, "Thank you."
Wayne, make the
And I
two
woke up.
Wayne, make the 2-1. You made the 2-1.
They embraced each other,
Those were your angels,
you know.
the dark and the light, and you made the 2-1. I
That's
literally
weird.
saw that you made the
I wrote it down, woke up and
they
wrote it
kept saying
down.
in the Bible to make the 2-1. It's about what you just did right there.
It was there, and they were everywhere. I mean, you got the sense. I couldn't make, I couldn't make the faces out, but the two, all I know is that one was white, one was black, and they embraced, and both looked at the same time and said, "Thank you."
Gratitude.
Yeah, and I went,
That's so powerful.
learning
Oh,
about these beings. People are talking about singing, folks. All I can tell you is that if you sing their names, it's like it's a direct connection. It sometimes makes me cry, you
That
know.
black and white angel thing is super powerful. Like they're just drilling me right now with the checkerboard floor and having complete control through the matrix and all this wizard stuff and the golden serpent. That's all connected. It's powerful what you just saw. Really
Well,
powerful.
I know I told them I want to be their friends, and I sense
I
that,
know they're so glad.
it's like, hey man, we got another one coming in, because there's a lot of room in this place. I mean, and it's a pretty swanky place. I got to tell you, they'll do just anything for you. It's weird, and what I have found is that in my meditation I'm finding myself speaking to myself the gratitude for everything. For instance, my wife, my dog. I'm so grateful for Dancer, because Dancer has shown me what really unconditional love is.
God,
And loyalty. Yeah.
God, loyalty. See,
Yeah.
loyalty.
See? Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
It's like, wow,
Yep.
so yeah, it's just, what can I say?
Wait, in Chinese zodiac, I'm a dog, and my birthday is 16, and that's your angel. It's the angel loyalty. I'm like, this is very interesting.
See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's all
Yes,
connected.
it is, and
It
they keep
is.
telling me pay attention to the 16. There is a
Yeah.
lot of profound things associated with 16. The biggest one so far that I found is the correlation of the quantum computer seeing 16 timelines.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
And that might be for you to know now. That might be,
I'm going to put that in there.
yeah, 16 timelines. So 16, pay attention to things that come up for you with 16.
And I want to say this, where the divine ones, where demons are concerned, and because people get all wigged out on that. It's like this. If you are one skin color and you went into a land where everyone else was a different skin color, you would be the odd one out.
Yes.
But you would be perceiving everyone is different than you. And I'm coming somewhere to the point of this. Let me just say this. I have not found a divine one really to be harmful. That, in fact, I didn't realize this, that many are in fact engaged the same way as we call the angelics in helping humans. They don't want to eat your soul. They don't want to send you to hell, because hell doesn't exist. If you realize this, folks, hell doesn't exist, then how in the hell does demons exist?
Right. I think all of it would exist if you believe in it. I do believe
Julie says 1 + 6 = 7 too.
True that.
Mic drop. Boom, baby. Now,
wow. Yes.
And listen, I'm not advocating for you to get into demonology. I'm not saying that at all. Let me tell you, the 72 angels have enough that I think that they could provide whatever you need. Just get to know them. But for those who want to get more advanced into occult, realize there's just not one flavor of chocolate.
Yes.
You have cherry chocolate. You can have banana chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
The diversity is the greatest gift.
It is.
One of the most beautiful, diverse places in the whole galaxy. They tell me this is a living library. So the diversity here truly is the most precious gift of this incarnation experience, is because you literally will be bombed with diversity here.
No,
So
and love, perfect love casteth out fear.
Yes.
Perfect love also has no judgment in it.
Yes.
So these beings, I have found them to love. They certainly have loved me through my lifetime.
Yes.
How about you? Have they?
Wayne, I never felt such love in my whole life. Remember I told you that time I connected to my higher self?
Mm-hmm.
Me, yeah, that is the angel over me, is my higher self. It's an angelic presence. And I've always known that since I was a little kid. When I would think of above, I'd always think of angels. It was just the way my brain worked. So, but when I got to feel the way that that part of me loved me, I'd never felt anything like that in my life. And it was really heavy to process because it was a love I've never experienced on this planet.
I agree. I mean, when I went through the dark night of the soul, I was literally on the verge of suicide. Just had
Yeah,
enough at
bye.
this point.
I'm out. Hmm.
Well, they showed me in a replay of my life, actually, there were two angels on each side of me. They wouldn't have let me go anyway.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
mean, they
That's
weren't.
well, I'm Wayne. Remember, I told you that I think in my life, even angels have possessed humans to save my life.
I think that that's very true. They can do
And
move-ins just
well,
like
well,
any other spirit,
my friend that had to dive in the pool to get me out because I knocked myself unconscious. I was at the bottom of a 10-foot swimming pool. I would have been done. So there was no fixing that. So they sent my mom's friend, and she can barely remember how it happened, but she
Mm,
remembered it. And I think she got taken over by my guardian angel to save my life.
I believe that is, we don't give enough credit to this. We're so arrogant that we think that we are these highly evolved beings.
Well, and when I was little, I was contemplating it. I went to sleep with a big trash bag over my head. I would have ran out of air and eventually went to sleep with the carbon monoxide and probably not been a good outcome. And they took my brother over on that one. And he came banging on my door, wouldn't stop, just kicking that thing. He was going to break it. He really
Well,
was
I've
going
read stories, Trina, of where they have actually assumed the look and the personality of people in your life,
like I said,
which,
yes.
yeah, and later these people would say, you'll say, well, thank you for what you did. And they go, what?
Right. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
don't
That's what
remember
happened
that at
with
all,
my friend. She really
Mm,
has to struggle to
mm.
remember this. It's
And I'll
really
show you
weird.
this. There have been acts of kindness that many of you have done
Yeah.
that you did not realize that you were showing an act of kindness to an angelic, even to a divine one.
Yeah. I know I ran into one 3 weeks ago on the corner. I saw it in her eyes and I knew it was. And you know what? I've never seen her since. It was seen as soon as I identified what she was and I gave her $10. And as soon as
It's
I gave her
interesting
the
that
money,
you mentioned that.
I'm telling you that I never saw her again. She was just gone.
When
Never.
I was doing so much traveling, and it was just, it was incredible. But that was my, um, that was my ministry, is that I would go, because I was staying downtown and and usually the very five-star hotels. But it's amazing how you can walk a couple of blocks from such prosperity to such abject poverty.
Yes.
And I remember I had a colleague and he wanted to know what I did sometimes in the evenings. I said, well, come with me. And I would typically pray in the spirit, praying in tongues,
Yep.
and just kind of walk. And when I felt the urge to stop, then I knew that there was a particular purpose. And I enjoy giving. It's something I love doing. And he said, he says, why are you giving these people money? He said, they're going to probably go out and do this and this. I said, you missed the point. It's not what they do, it's what I do.
Yeah. And yeah, that's when I'd go back to the be careful, brother. There might be angels amongst
There
us.
you go.
You better
I
be
had
careful.
one gentleman, it was in Atlanta, and I was staying at the Georgian Hotel. And when I'd gotten in town on a Sunday, and I had given this gentleman some money. I knew I was supposed to. Well, I was sitting out on, I guess it was a Wednesday, and having a cocktail. And here he come, and he stopped, and he said, "You are the light." He said, "I want to say thank you." And I said, well, it was a gift. He says, no, it was more than a gift. It was a lifeboat.
Yes.
And he said, whatever you did for me, he said, and he said, I'm making changes in my life right now. And I said, well, let me just lay hands on you and let me just empower you to go, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, wow, it's amazing. This is a very deep show today. Well, I'm just trying to read
Well,
Ginger says downtown Cleveland. That I have been to Cleveland, and I can testify to that, Ginger. Absolutely. It's a pretty dismal place. Yeah. It's just really, it's amazing. So yeah. So there you go.
I think it's just so important. I think this is so much more important than we realize, because it seems like the fall of man and all the stuff happened between an argument between man and the angels.
Mm-hmm.
What if this is the healing of that battle of eons of years of finally, instead of dividing from one another, actually coming together in unity and working together as one creative force of creation, none being above each other, and honoring each other, loving each other as we are each other.
Well, you think about this, Trina.
Simple it is.
We are such a small minority in the collective consciousness of man.
Yes.
I mean, this is what I was overwhelmed with as I was, and this is, I just let my thoughts as I'm tracing these sigils and I'm looking at the angel, because this is their name. It's like I'm making them a business card, with the little name plaque. Right. And it was interesting because they begin to show me the numbers. Yes. And just do the numbers. So let's just say that there's 8 billion people on the planet. Well, you look at the 8 billion people, how many people actually call on the angels directly who seek a relationship with them? They told me you would probably say maybe 80 million people would probably be, and that's the number I got in my head. And then you look at 80 million to 8 billion. So that's 0.0001%. We control so much power just by the ability of our knowledge. And folks, as you become more assured of their presence, you become more bolder, you become more confident, and that increases the frequency. They become more aware of that.
You know what they showed me with that, Wayne? That's so many, how you said that's so beautiful, because that's what they showed me. They showed me that when you start to acknowledge them, they can actually get closer to you because they're anchored very high above you. And the more you start to connect with them, they literally send a light column through your spine, and they can come closer and closer, building the vibration between heaven and earth. And the more you can vibrate at the higher levels, the more they can anchor in and be more present in the world and really start to powerfully affect your sphere of reality that you sit in individually and affect the collective. And they can manifest through you way more powerfully if you acknowledge them and work with them. They Wayne, that's what they were said about you when you started working with the angels. It's like, man, they've been waiting for this because your loyalty has earned you a level of power many people will not achieve in many lifetimes. So they've been waiting for you to get on Team Angelic, because you're a force to be reckoned with.
I like the jackets, man.
You're a force to be reckoned with, and they are really happy now. They're like,
the bling is pretty far out stuff, man. I feel like Elvis, in one of his suits, hey, baby, how you doing?
I keep hearing, Wayne, that this is the key to like healing so much of all of this, is because now we're actually working together. And that is huge. Remember that what had never been done before? Maybe this is what they were talking about, is this profound relationship with the angelics in the spiritual realm on earth being awoken again for maybe the first time ever.
There's 172 watch and 67 thumbs up. And so 6 and 7 would be 13, which is the perfect number.
Yeah.
This is just, it's everywhere. And so and I'll be talking more about this tomorrow as we get in with John King's books. Actually, am now doing the angel rituals, and it's I got to tell you this because I busted out laughing. I was in the shower and, just singing out the names. And in one particular, what I'm doing, it was such a distinct voice inside my head. It says like, it's already been done, but it was the way it was said. I just started laughing because it's like they were having fun. And let me point out this. So I'm asking, why some of these elaborate rituals, right? Why all the altars and this and that? And I heard one speak in my head as though he was right next to me, and he says, because humans are silly.
That's exactly right. That's I'm so
What-
glad that's what they said to you, because that's what they told me, because you all need it. They were like, that's because you need the
And we
toy.
don't need it. I mean, it's you guys, but he just
That's
said
exactly what
humans
they
are
told me,
silly,
Wade. Yeah, they're like, you don't need none of it, but you guys do. You little
Yeah.
humans, your toys and your sticks.
Y'all love that ritual stuff,
Yeah. They were like, not
so
necessary. Not at all. I was like, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the ridicule that magicians, the whole subject of magic, and that is with a Gick, not a Ci, is the fact that, because you look at this and you get into these elaborate rituals, right? You do this candle and you do that one, but then you have to stop. Has anyone ever come out of Catholicism? I mean, you've got altar boys that is their specific task, to set the altar up.
Yep.
There's no difference, Trina.
None.
And both are invoking angelics.
Yes.
Thank you.
The common thing amongst all religions is the divine messengers of God and their power. This is consistent through every one of them.
Yeah, I mean,
every one of them, even to the occult, to the black magic, to all of it. It covers every single one, all of it.
And I'll state this. So the thing that I'm finding is that when you get to this place and understanding God, the construct of God is not a singularity. No. It is a combination of.
It is. You can't wrap your brain around it.
You can't.
That is so beyond what you could even put in your brain. And then if you could, no.
So you got to take all the precepts and concepts out of what your perception of what God is and come in. And this is what I told them. Because, I come out of 5 decades of Christianity. I know that Bible. I can quote it. I mean, I know it.
Yeah.
I can. And I've seen miracles. My hands have produced miracles in people. So I know this stuff. But now I realized I was in a 5-decade initiation.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was.
But it's so funny though, Wayne, that is exactly what you needed to do to be, because your loyalty and your serious practices in your past lives has gotten you killed multiple times.
I have felt that. I think the last life I was poisoned in my throat because I have this fear of, it's not a fear. When they put me under to do a colonoscopy, they had me drugged out, and the doctor had to have 4 medical technicians because I grabbed his wrist, and I'm completely sedated.
Yes.
And he said, I almost broke his wrist.
Yes.
And he came out and told Lynn, he said, your husband's very strong.
Yeah. See what I mean? That's another confirmation too, that the body has its own
has its own spirit, by the way.
You were out, but yet your body was still holding that charge of protection, and it knew exactly what was going on. So that is absolutely true.
The fact, Jack. I mean, absolutely. It's like, but you're right. I think it has gotten me, what
it did was you were able to finally go back into your practice and your power with not knowing any of the taboo parts of it, because where you were at was the first time it was openly okay to do these things. But through being able to do that, you reawakened all the things that you were killed from in the past lifetimes. And a lot of it, like I said, these powers have gone with you from lifetime to lifetime because of your loyalty to the good cause, because you've earned it.
When I get over to the other side, we're having a come to Jesus party. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It'll be
I had to throw that in there, It's like, all right, everybody, come on. We're going to have a little powwow here. Let's,
Absolutely.
But you know what? Our kind, and there's many of us. Yes. You, I mean, in this chat room that I'm seeing, every one of the moderators, that's why they are who they are. And there's so many others that are in, they are the soul tribe. And we're all playing a role. And it's amazing because this 1 hour it's like a recharging station. It's like, wow, it's like it's 115 degrees outside, but man, it's 69 degrees in here.
Right on.
Yeah, it's like that, But it's a. I am so appreciative of the guidance that they're giving. I really am.
Wayne, I know it's
Yeah.
profound. That's what I mean. This has been the most. I worked with the ascended masters throughout my life as well, but my go-to has always been the angelics, and I always work with very, very, very large teams, and that's profound.
And what a delightful group. I mean,
Can't find anything better, Wayne. I just haven't
and,
been
and
able.
it almost brings tears to my spirit because they've endured. They have such a compassion for humanity, but yet they have been ignored by humanity. They have been vilified. They have, been slandered and completely misunderstood.
Yes,
And I think this may be a time for them as it is a time for humanity. Humanity needs them more than any time now.
absolutely. We need
We
each
really
other.
do.
We need each other. They can't work unless they work through us. That's what they showed me. They can't intervene unless they have cooperation from us. But we can't receive their gifts and their protection unless we cooperate with them. So I told you, they told me cooperation is one of the highest vibrations of the creator. Benevolent cooperation is one of the most powerful sources of all source availability because it can touch so much because it's working together. It's
Wow. I
huge,
mean, it's
huge.
amazing. The particularly the angelics I'm working with right now, they actually can go back in your past,
Yes,
and
and
they can and they can modify it
they can slow
just a
time,
little bit,
bend
just a
time,
little
jump
bit.
time. They are the time masters, Wayne. I've
They
never
are.
seen anybody be able to move time more than an angelic. Never, ever, ever seen anything that can move time the way an angel can. They're the masters of it. Other people learn how to bend it and do it, but no, no, not like the angels. No way.
And someone needs to hear this. What they do, if you give them permission and you command them to, they it's amazing. Some will take the initiative, and others you have to literally command them to. You have to express that it's your free will, but they will go back and make a subtle change to something that happened to you. And it's amazing because you'll start noticing it in the days and the weeks to come. And it's so subtle.
The shift in the reality, ever
Yes.
so
Yeah.
slight, but visibly noticeable, and you feel it. You know
And
it's
what it does, it's like an airplane. If I was studying to become a pilot, an amateur pilot, but you have to understand if you set your destination heading on a particular degree and you point the plane in that, and that's why you watch where you're going. And if you're getting off just a little bit, the problem is if you're off a quarter of a degree, you can be off 120 miles from your
correct.
destination.
Absolutely.
What the angels do is that they will get you back on the course that you're still pervading through time with.
Proper timeline.
Yeah, and it's just a nudge,
Yes. Yes.
and that's it. It's
And like I
true.
said, the angels control this entire realm. Like it's
They
found
do. They
temple
do.
operation. And I really do think that these angels, just like that wheel of the angels, it's like a clock. It's also directly in alignment with timelines. These angels are somehow very connected with time, more so than any other beings I've ever seen.
I think
So
they're the masters of time.
I think they are, Wayne. I
Yeah, I
really,
really do.
yeah,
You
I
know,
do.
they
I,
perceive time, as I've been seeing in my studies and meditations. I see time now not as a linear dimension, but I see time basically it's in every direction and in every dimension and every phase, and it's amazing, and it's all different.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, it's
it's how I see it.
it's just like this. Where in the freak did the time go here? I
No,
mean, it's
No,
like
this is
1
not
hour.
okay, Wayne. This is not okay. We need 2 hours or something because this
I
is
mean, this
not
is
okay.
freaking nuts. I
It's so
mean,
fast. It's going faster every week.
yeah, I just literally Alan Emro, how you doing? I'm doing well. I have favor. I am uniquely and there's only one of me. So that's how I'm doing, Alan. That's how you're doing too. There's only one of you, and we love it. Wow. This has been an amazing, amazing hour. Just
It has, and
very
it's so
magical.
beautiful. I love what you're doing. I'm so grateful to you, Wayne. Thank you. The angels send you their gratitude. And boy, when you send it back, you see what happens. It's a
Oh,
beautiful thing. So
it's
attitude,
never the
gratitude,
equal.
baby. That's
It's
it.
like I gave them a seed, and what they gave me back was a seed that has the ability to promulgate, 100 times, 1,000 times over.
It's just like Jesus said, the mustard
Yeah.
seed, the
Yeah.
universe within the mustard seed. And they gave you the universe, Wayne. They handed you the universe.
Listen, the dude had a lot of cool sayings. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I continues Mark 11:23, if he would say, in fact, it says in Mark 11:22, have the God kind of faith, that if you would say unto this mountain, be ye removed and cast into the sea, and not doubt in your heart, but believe that those things for which you pray and ask for, they shall come to pass.
Yes.
So
And
there you
Wayne,
go.
think about it. All this started with the fall of Lucifer because God said you need to worship them and you need to be listening to them. And they were like, wait, we were first, So what a beautiful thing is like when we understand that honestly, this was all created for us to work together as a connection between heaven and earth. And for us to have take on a human physical vessel meant that we integrated with soul because soul is earth, it's feeling, it's mother, it's that soul. And the
Ooh,
angelic.
it kind of shows why it's so special to be born, because if you're dealing with a race of beings that are into the hundreds, thousands of trillions,
Yes.
can you imagine there's not enough human bodies for 100 trillion angels
Yes.
to ever come in and ever reach? Holy fuck. I mean, excuse me using that word, but I'm seeing this.
Yes.
So the rarity of being in the human experience is the ability for the ascension.
Yes.
And that's why it says that we stand before a great cloud of witnesses that are basically cheering us on.
Yes.
Go, finished it. Finish the race.
Yes.
Use what you've been giving. We are you, you are us. Don't be afraid of us. We love you.
That's it. That's it. Heaven and earth come together.
We're on the Isby team, man.
That's it. Yes, absolutely.
It is. I'm sorry, you dropped the F word, but I saw it. I mean, you think about the competition to be able to have a spirit being for the opportunity to be able to do what I would call the fast ascension.
Yes.
A one lifetime is in an angelic's time is it's amazing.
Oh God, yeah. We
Yeah.
can't
Well, there you go.
I'm telling you, this cooperation thing, they always told me how important it was. And now I'm starting to really understand what they were meaning when they said how this is so big. Because now I'm starting to see it really working with the angelics and the 72 and the wheel. It's just all like coming together.
Yeah. It's far out. Well, Trina, this has been wow, time traveling.
Yes.
I love it.
When you have that gratitude and the divine gets you, the time just goes, phew.
Jeez, and of course they're all going, well, the hour is up. Well, wait a minute. We don't go by the human hour. Why don't they go longer? So what's up for you this week, Trina? You on Friday night with the ladies?
Yes, I believe so. I don't know. Friday night, work has been running late on Friday, so that's tough. Saturday too, I might be out of town, so I might be taking this weekend off. But I think I can stream from where I'm going up north. So just checking it out. But always Tuesday with Wayne for sure, and then doing what I can in between.
Well, you're doing marvelous, marvelous work. This is and just what you do.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. Lori, we again say belated happy birthday to you, girl.
just love her so much.
Such a good group of very powerful ladies over there. That's all I can
And
say.
gentlemen, we got
That's right. You do. You have Grandpa
Lucky
Brian on,
Stone
right?
sometimes, and we
Yeah.
got Brian and
Yeah.
we got the boys coming in too, so it's good.
And it's interesting. I haven't seen Brian Ledford in a while. I trust he's doing well.
I have seen, he did a video a few days ago. He caught another big ship in the sky. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Well, you're going to see a lot more of them.
Oh, I know. I feel that too.
Not all the angelics. Some of them actually have to use ships. I mean, it's just the way it is, folks. We think that these beings are there is this class, but there's many of them, the lower echelon, who that's how they travel.
For real. You were up. That's way not.
That's just what it is.
They've always been shown too. Angels just don't use their wings. They use ships.
No, there's lesser angels. I mean, it really is true. I mean,
it's like they are everything. They literally, those angels hold every single template for this universe. One of them has a part of it, and together they're the whole picture.
See these legions, the folks, they're not all winged creatures. They're just and on the divine ones, I've noticed that I call they're always the pain in the ass. They're the imps, but I'm finding that over on the angelics, they have a similar. You can have a familiar that just becomes a pain in the ass, and they're an angelic.
Yes.
Just, would you shut the freak up?
Seriously, true. Seriously, yes.
Okay. Trina, much love to you, honey. Much love to everyone in this. Thank you. You're all just beautiful people. We so appreciate you. And can you believe those cards that Al's working on? I'm telling you, that was an angelic idea he is doing, folks. I'm asking for him to send it to me because when he gets it into the JPEGs, I'll be able to show everyone else. They are just absolutely.
We were throwing stuff around. He was like sending me stuff. I'm like, I was like, I see the sigil in it, but I see the sigil, and I was like, when he sent me the last, I was like,
so talented.
You got what I saw. I was like, that's what I was seeing. I'm like, you got it. You did it. I'm like, that's what I was seeing. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are beautiful. And he's a very talented individual. There's so many talented people here. It's just, okay. Well, much love to you, Trina. I'll see you next Tuesday. All right.
Angels be with us all, always.
Yes, we just disperse the angels over all of these people in the chat room, in the Soul Tribe. You know who they are. Just go and give them a big hug.
My whole life of my babies, when I put them to bed, I told you we changed that prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. It had angels in it. And then when we would do the angel prayer, and then I'd go, I love you, angels on your pillows. And that's how I ended every night with my babies, angels on your pillows.
They're pretty cool beings. You can actually put your head in their shoulders, and
just I want them around my babies while they sleep. I'm like, shield my babies.
Just kind of just let it flow.
Yes.
Let your love flow. All right. So, all right, everybody. Much love to everyone. We will see you next week, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right.